Okay, hello. Sorry, I had my... Yeah, I had my mic muted. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyways, I think everything should work out. Wait, hang on, there was... Oh, I didn't realize Alios was in chat. Or... Wait, how do you say his name? I just realized. I think I've been saying... Alolis? It's because I know I've said it incorrectly because he told me I said it incorrectly. But he never told me how to say it properly, so... You know what? If no one corrects me, I'm just gonna be confidently wrong. Alios it is! Alright, so... First off, I guess... How long has it been since you've seen Higurashi? That's quite a while. But don't worry, actually same thing for me. 1 year or so. Whoa. So we have a more recent person here. So the things we say might sound really dumb. Okay. Well, you... Oh yeah, wait. Hang on, how to, like, change the title? I don't have anything for that. Is that like a scene? Discord Forky, okay. Source. The continuation was certainly something. Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. I did watch Go and Sotsu. For the purposes of this stream, we're gonna pretend that doesn't exist. Actually, for the purposes of my mental health, we're gonna pretend that doesn't exist. I don't... Oh, so they did something. Okay, so they made a quote-unquote remake of the series, but then they pulled the rug from underneath our feet by the end of episode 1, and it turns out this is actually a secret season. Well, I would say season 3, because it kind of continues off of Kai, and Rei and Kira kind of gets disregarded. Which is fine for me. I didn't really particularly care for the OVAs as much. I mean, they weren't bad or anything, in my opinion. But they weren't really... I feel like a lot of it wasn't necessary. Like, some of the episodes were hit or miss, I guess. I don't know. Hee. I don't know how to do this. Alright. Okay, so first things first. I guess we'll start with Higurashi. So who, I guess, like, with how we're gonna try to do this as a realistic collab if possible. So like, you know, Persona, Danganronpa, or like things like that. We're gonna have to I would say we don't have to like consider everything and like make it super accurate, because like certain characters fit better in terms of abilities. Like, for example, Miu fits well with like Toy Merchant in terms of ability, but not personality. And then some characters fit better with like lore and personality, but not really abilities, right? So we could just consider one or the other more so. But what I mean is like with each of the essence, there's like an S tier, and then like maybe like at max 4 A tiers. And then like with Frieren there was like a freebie for the event, and then a shop S tier. Wait, actually, I just realized. I think I have the desktop muted. Hang on. I don't think...
You've been screaming into the void!
Oh my god, I just realized. Wait, Elios, did you hear hats at all during this whole excursion?
Hi, I'm actually secretly your conscience. We haven't spoken in about like 10 years.
You know, it makes the whole thing about me not being able to set you up and put you in the corner more fitting, because you actually didn't exist for the last 12 minutes. Oh, hi, hats.
Oh, hey, you can hear me too. Hi, I'm Seaside's conscience. I've been trying to get a hold of him for like a while now. I've only just now finally gotten through.
Yeah, unfortunately, I ran out of meds.
Yeah, let's talk about that, shall we?
You know, it's a good thing we haven't actually started discussing the lore just yet.
We're gonna see how little I actually remember.
Alright, okay, so at most I would say we should do something like 4 like A tiers, someone has an S tier, and then someone has a shop S tier, and then maybe there's a freebie in the events. So for that, in the Higurashi, that can be like 1, I guess, essence. So who in the cast should get the skins, I guess?
Who should get the skins? Who gets the freebie?
Yeah. And like, I guess, where do they go? So let me think. That would be a max of 7 characters, which funnily enough is the whole main like characters in like the club. So that could be like Keiichi, Mion, Rena, Satoko, Rika, Hanyu, Shion, and stuff like that. But also, if we wanted, we can include one of the characters to be like Mio or Takano.
I'm still paying attention. I'm also trying to give myself a refresher as we go through here.
Actually, I don't think Frieren had that many characters in the essence. Wait, let me see. What was...
No, they didn't. Still wanted that one from Priestess. Never got it.
Maybe one day. Frieren was really successful, so...
It was insanely successful, and I will go back to get it if I got proof that they're gonna stop with the AI bullshit.
Yeah. Hang on, let me see what the Persona collab was like, because depending on how many characters were in it...
They went for the whole main cast plus Akechi.
Yeah, but I just mean in the essence. Okay, so actually, it looks like the max is 3 A tiers and then 1 S tier. So,
which is 1 average for every single essence.
Yeah. So I guess we should just have it limited to 6 characters instead of 7.
That'll cover a good basis.
So who out of the main club members do we kill out in the back alleyway? Who do we not want?
I might just spin a wheel, see who's getting the old yellow treatment.
I feel like no matter what, we have to include the characters that show up in episode 1. So that's gonna be like Keiichi, Mion, Rena, Satoko, and Rika. Like, no matter what, they have to be included.
Definitely.
So I guess, do you prefer, do you think Hanyu, Shion would be better to have? Or like, I don't think we should include Takano because she is the secret twist villain at the very end of the series. So she's supposed to seem very unimportant. She's supposed to seem like a very basic side character, I guess.
Not unless like with the collab, with the potential story going for it, they want to like rush through everything.
I get.
Then 5 minutes later, surprise, twist villain.
You know, I guess it'll be like they're building off of Sotsungo. You should already know is Takano or something, and then every time I think about that anime.
Part of me wants to say give Keiichi the old yellow treatment. You know, let everybody let the ladies have all the spotlight.
Yeah, fuck him.
Take him out back.
So is that? Should we do that or?
I mean, it's that or I spin a wheel.
Personally, I would say we should just eliminate Hanyu because even though she is like a part of the main cast and she's arguably more important than like a lot of the characters like as the series goes forward. She is also similar to Takano in the sense that she only appears in the very later episodes, like episode 7 and 8 only. While everyone else appears like episode 1 or 2. So
Hanyu or Keiichi?
Alright. So what is more, I guess who is more easy to eliminate? The initial protagonist? Or I guess like the I don't know how to describe it. Like the final hour, like fifth ranger kind of situation.
I guess Hanyu's getting it because that would honestly be easier.
Yeah. Alright, so continuing on, that means we have our 6 characters. Keiichi, Rena, Mion, Shion, Satoko, and Rika. Yay! So
6. Who's getting the S tier?
Would it be a spoiler to give it to Rika? Because she is the main character, like the actual main character.
No, would it be?
She technically becomes the main character in episode, like, 7, but, like, you get hints of her importance by, like, episode 4-ish, 5-ish.
True, but mainly
4.
starting off by seeing things through Keiichi's point of view. But Rika would probably, just because of her actual more importance, would be better fitting for the S tier. Maybe, like, probably would end up making her, like, a little girl S tier by default. Just because tiny.
Well, the issue is Satoko is also, like, the same size as her. So if we give her the... Like, it's gonna be similar to Eve, where both Eve and Mary are the same size. She is the Shrine Maiden.
Well, I mean, it kind of helps out because, Coordinator's honestly kind of fucking short.
Yeah, but Journalist isn't that short.
Yeah, neither's Journalist. Journalist's not that short. Journalist honestly looks taller compared to the others.
Yeah. So, I think because we have 2 children characters, we shouldn't give either of them little girl. Unless we do something really weird with one of them. And I have an idea for that, and I'll get into it a bit.
The thing is, if they're gonna go with like something that does like a complete animation or model overhaul, that would be S tier by default.
She's the Shrine Maiden and the singular head of her family. She was made quite important early on. A lot of the characters have very strong importance in Hinamizawa. Like Rena less so, but a lot of the characters were important. But what I mean is, like, Rika, like, in the first episode, she doesn't play as major of a part compared to Keiichi, Rena, and Mion. She's important and she's a main character, but she's not, like... At first, she kind of just seems like a friend of the club and, you know, like, a member of the club. Like, Mion is the head of the Shonozaki, like... Or at least the heir of the Shonozaki clan, and is shown to like have strong political ties within Hinamizawa. So I'm not saying like, oh, Rika is like doesn't seem important as a like she doesn't have any importance at all within the story or the lore from from the start or anything. I just mean like comparatively to like she just doesn't seem like she's playing a big part in the story.
The importance of her role is not seen immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Her being the protagonist is not, and like how much she's playing into the story is not seen that early on, if that makes sense.
And also, we also gotta keep in mind, if this is like a realistic collab, the more of a model or animation overhaul that's got to be done, the more likely they will have to be the S tier.
Yeah. So actually, I think
like Death Note collab, for example, with Ryuk. He's an S tier for, well, the reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
But because of Ryuk being Ryuk, they had to overhaul the model and animations a lot. So he ended up having to be the S tier just because of that.
In that case, I do think Rika should be the S tier. But like, I'll get a little bit into that in a bit. I think we should like first discuss Keiichi. And I think for the event, he should be the freebie.
Free dude! Get yourself a free dude!
Just do our quest and you get a free dude!
Do one simple quest and you get a free dude! Get yours today!
Yay! Look at this nice generic teenage guy.
Just random teenage guy. It's John IDV.
Woohoo! So, first things first. Who should he be? I'm gonna say he's an A tier because he says a freebie, but anyways.
Watch him be the first collab B tier that's free.
That's so tragic. At that point, we should just give him to Lucky Guy.
Should just give He's a free Lucky Guy skin. We won't even have to change much.
Oh my god, it's just like Makoto.
It's Makoto all over again.
Another free A tier for the Lucky Guy, just for the event happening. Don't you guys feel so lucky? Wait, was Makoto an Essence? Oh, never mind. Okay, I take that back.
I wasn't there for the Danganronpa collab.
Yeah, me neither. Is he lucky enough though?
Lucky enough though if he considered that. I mean, just look at poor Lucky Guy. Alright, look, you can't even put him in the grand IDV lore because if you do, the man, just by nature of his damn hands, breaks it. His pants and his sneakers break it. That man is a time traveler. He should not be here.
I love his lore. Like his recent birthday letter, like it made me so emotional. I started crying. The whole no information added. It was so beautiful.
So beautiful. Get Lucky again. Just by nature, if we consider Lucky Guy to be a canon character, he just breaks the lore of the game. Because he'd have to be a time traveler. There's no way this man invented sneakers.
I love how Orpheus just added in a character that's like, okay, so I have no idea what is going on in this game, so let's just put someone there.
Make a generic dude in clothes that don't exist yet.
This just shows that Orpheus came from 20 years in the future after, like, Ashes of Memory and shit. Wait.
Oh, come on, Orpheus. No more time traveling. No, that's enough. Bad Orpheus, get the spray bottle.
We don't need to consider things like the time periods and logic. We just need a placeholder. Smiley face. Sneakers it is!
Hey, why does this guy have sneakers? It's like late 1800s, early 1900s. What the hell's going on?
Actually, now I think of
These
it.
haven't been invented yet.
Now I think of it. Orpheus is still within like the early 1900s. Like probably 1940s at the latest.
Yeah, and sneakers weren't built till like about 1950s.
Huh.
Like denim jeans.
So either way is.
So we got a time travel, and those are modern style sneakers and jeans.
Huh.
We got a time traveler.
Well.
Put him back.
Well, I guess it really is best not to consider his existence then.
Yeah, put him back.
Actually, on, I guess, a more serious topic about Keiichi being lucky guy. So there's actually a few options I had in mind. Oh no, Alios is going through advertisement hell. Well, more money for me, so
They've been extra bad lately.
maybe I should just
Enjoy your one singular penny from Twitch.
woohoo. So let me think. So I had a few options for Keiichi. Like if we consider his, I guess, more iconic moments, or in terms of like the horror and stuff, is the fact that he uses a baseball bat as his main weapon. So like, I was thinking batter would make sense because like if Keiichi's associated with the bat and like batter with his like cricket bat would work as like a sort of tie-in.
I mean, yeah, it would work with him being a free A tier because they wouldn't have to really do that much model or animation rework.
Yeah. But also, another part of me considered, like, genuinely, I did consider Lucky Guy, because, like, Keiichi... Okay, so Keiichi as a character, he's known to be, like, super intelligent and very good, especially with numbers and math, right? Like, in episode 3, he's able to, like, calculate the exact, like, time and, like, things he needs to do in order to kill Satoko's uncle. And it was basically pretty exact and pretty perfect. The only thing that he fucked up on was the cleanup afterwards, because he did really badly with that, and Mion had to kind of step in and sort of help sort things out. He's really smart, but man, he is a fucking idiot at times. Yeah, he is also 15, so...
Do you know a completely 100% rational all the time 15-year-old? I don't.
Yeah.
I have a younger sister in high school. Not even she knows a rational 15-year-old.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of any myself either. I feel like when you're 15,
not known for constantly making the smart decision.
Yeah, I feel like teenagers are just kind of crazy.
At the age where it's okay for them to not make the smart decisions.
So, I was trying to think who would be a good character in terms of like the mathematic parts and maybe like being super smart, but also like wouldn't
we're running the risk of feeding Luca another crossover skin.
Oh my god, I was about to say that. I was like, wait.
We fed him enough.
What?
I love the man. He's been fed enough.
Wait, that actually fits so well though. Like
it does, but he's been fed enough.
Like personality wise, and also like a bit of the lore wise, that does work. Oh my god.
Oh no, it fits. Oh no.
Oh my god. Him
getting fed another skin.
I mean, I feel like describing Luca as he is really smart, but man, is he a fucking idiot at times. It's just so accurate. Give a meal to that guy and...
Neil and Ada have been fed enough as well.
No, wait, I have plans for Ada and Emil. But also, canonically speaking, Keiichi's pretty, leans closer to Mion anyways, and also, it's sort of like, it sort of jumps between Rena and Mion depending on the timeline, but it leans closer to Mion most of the time.
Depending on the timeline and what mood the teenage boy is in.
Depending on what happens, and like which relationship gets built up.
Also, if you go with the logic of visual novel, who the hell is in charge at the time?
Yeah. So, I would say that's actually not really that good of an idea, because it's just Keiichi and Rena just don't even end up together in most timelines. I think they only really had a thing in the first timeline.
That is a good question. Can he tell the difference?
From what we've seen in Chapter 2 and Chapter 6, no, he cannot. But to be fair, it doesn't seem like most people can.
I mean, even with cases like actual, real-life identical twins, there are still giveaways that you can tell that, when someone's pretending to be somebody else.
Yeah, it is actually shown in the visual novel, at least. It's very strongly, hinted. If you pay attention to their behaviors and just understand the characters, you can figure out who is who.
Because different siblings will, hold themselves posture-wise different ways. They might have, different tics, sort of things. Just small tells that if you know the person, it'll usually tip you off, hey, you're not who you're pretending to be.
Yeah.
So Keiichi doesn't know these people.
Yeah, like he to be fair, he literally just moved in, which is actually why I wanted to consider Lucky Guy. Like Keiichi, I would not consider a generic protagonist or anything like that. Wasn't it in the anime as well that they on several times switched places? Yeah, they did. But what I'm saying is, in the visual novel, they made it a point to show the differences between Mion and Shion's personality, so you can like get a general sense of who is who and how like Shion is messing up the Mion cosplay a lot of times.
It gives you the visual novel has more room to give you hints on, hey, something's wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
This is not who she says she is.
So the reason why I wanted to consider Keiichi as Lucky Guy is because, well, one, Lucky Guy just doesn't really have a lot of skins, so, you know, we're gonna be nice about it. But, like, I do want to clarify when I say this that I do not see Keiichi as a generic anime protagonist. Like, he has a lot of his own backstory, his own personality, his own agency, and, like, as a character, he is a character, and he isn't just a placeholder for you. But in chapter 1, and to some degree chapter 2, but like mostly in chapter 1, he does work as a like self-insert. And he does like that is kind of what like Ryoshi was trying to go for. Like, he literally just moved here maybe a few months ago. He has no idea what's going on, just like you. And like he's kind of like an average teenage guy. So theoretically just like you.
He's supposed to be the everyman, but he's not the everyman. He's still somewhat his own person.
Yeah, but at the very least, at the very beginning, he does act like more strongly as an everyman. So I feel like having him as the deduction substitute does fit in with that idea pretty decently.
Put that man in this situation.
Mm-hmm. He is the sometimes someone man. He is. So, that was the 3 options I had for, I guess, Keiichi. Well, actually, Luca was kind of just added in now.
Yeah, Luca was added in now because we started putting dots together, then we realized, oh, Luca's been fed a lot lately. Never mind.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like Luca anyways. Shaking my head.
He's one of my beloved mains, but good God, he's been fed enough. Please, have mercy upon me.
Alright, so we shoot Luca in the back alleyway. Anyways, continuing on.
Sorry, little one.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe? Wait, no, that's such a stupid idea. What the fuck? Luca's a murderer, so it would fit. He's also, from what I remember, he was very unemotional murderer. At the very,
there's a lot of murderers in IDV. You're gonna have to narrow it down.
Well, actually, maybe I should specify he was very emotional with Alva's murder, and then I think he was very calculated with the other, like game 10, or was it 11?
So yeah, gotta keep in mind, barely anybody in IDV is actually a good person. There are very few actually good people.
Thinking about it, it does fit pretty well. They do have like a similar they do. Well, actually no. Actually, I wouldn't say it fits. I think Luca's a little bit too calculated when considering his own game. Like, he did plan out and successfully murder all the other contestants. Pretty theoretically without much emotion from what I remember. But with Alva, he was very emotional. So that's
because Alva was mentor, and at the time he was under the impression that Alva was stealing his father's inventions.
Yeah, and I think Keiichi is a bit too emotional in all of his murders, that I don't think that part really fits. And also, yeah, everyone is kind of a murderer, so like that doesn't really help with.
Yeah, there are very few actually good people in IDV. It is such a small percentage, and the survivors on average being more murdery compared to the hunters, that's just because of the sheer number of them.
Yeah.
There's too many dudes in this fuck-ass crow house.
So true, so true.
Where are we storing them all?
You know, that reminds me, we need more survivors and less hunters. Because look at the koa lineup. We're out of survivors already.
Are we?
We are, like, I think we just, like, I think we're, like, getting I think, like, right now we only have, like, Lanternus, Matador, like, the mime girl that just came out. Efron. And then,
Yes,
like...
I do understand, though, them having more survivors than hunters, because survivors, you've got more slots to fill in gameplay.
Yeah. Like, what? Like, look at how many hunters are in the lineup for the next koas. Like, we have so many hunters, and then we have, like... We have enough for, like, maybe 1 year's worth of koa now. For the survivor side.
Hey, IDV, quit the AI bullshit, and I will happily start making survivors for you.
Also, maybe slow down with the content release. I think whatever artists you do still have are being crammed and, like, crunched.
Please, take care of your artists.
Truly, truly. People are people, please.
People flock to IDV because of the art.
Honestly, if you just give each, like, season, like, a week or two more time, that will give people more time to, like, play and, like, grind. And that will also, like, give people more time to, like, the artists more time to, like, do things. And also, like, that would, like, theoretically help a lot with, I don't know, certain things. Just give each season an extra month, less content to create, and everyone gets more time to get the content they want. Like, just add a little bit more stuff to the logic path, and then it'll be great. Theoretically.
Yeah, logic path is already pretty much damn near infinite in theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not filtered. It's most of it's taken up by, like, the clues, but still infinite in theory.
Alright, so good night, Alios. Alright, he's gonna go to sleep.
Get plenty of sleep.
So between
Get all the rest.
Between Batter and Lucky Guy, who do you think would fit Keiichi better? One is more so for, like, gameplay and, I guess, aesthetic, because Keiichi is, like, associated with, like, baseball bats for his main weapon and, like, a lot of the game. And then Lucky Guy is more so for, like, his narrative purpose. And then we're not gonna look at Luca.
He's been fed enough. I love Luca, but he's been fed enough. I'd have to say Lucky Guy. Sorry, Ganji.
Yay! Okay, so I guess we're gonna put Keiichi as Lucky Guy. Hang on. Maybe I'll write it down somewhere. I don't have anywhere to... Wait, I have this cool spinny eraser that's mechanical. Wait, can you hear it?
I do not.
Aw, damn, that's sad. It's so cool! Okay, maybe this is gonna take a bit too long. Give me a second. So, moving on, I guess to make things a little bit easier, we should consider Mion and Shion together. Because they are the twins, so what if, like, they're gonna probably be pretty, I mean, not similar to each other, but we should consider both of them at the same time so we don't, like, choose anything too off, if that makes sense.
True.
So actually, we can't, like, a suggestion that was given by Alios is just give 2 skins to Vera, and I'm just gonna say, let's not do that, because...
If we wanted to go the unrealistic collab idea, we could also go the Dream Witch route.
I was actually planning on suggesting Dream Witch as one of the characters, but for someone else.
I mean, with how they had it work with, like, Tomie for the Junji Ito collab, because both are technically, you know, the same person, just, you know, different forms. And it could, same concept could in theory work with, you know, with a set of twins. It's just a question of who's spawning infinite copies of their sister.
I guess it would probably be Shion as the main body and then Mion as the mini bodies. But the thing is, with how Dream Witch works, that implies that Mion is working for Shion, and there's kind of no timelines where they work for each other. Like, they are very independent from each other and do their own things a lot.
True. It's mainly just me throwing an idea out there.
Okay, so actually, I did think about it a little bit. And because Mion, like, she straight up has a gun with her at all times. Like, at least in the original, like, sprites, you can, like her casual outfit, she just has a gun in her bag.
Hello, coordinator.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, she probably is just gonna get Cord. And Cord pretty much is a safe bet for all collabs anyway, so... That was my initial suggestion, and to be honest, I don't really know who she would really fit in with the lore. Because Mion's character, she does, like, she is the head of the Shonozaki family, and she does have a bit of imposter syndrome from that, because of how she isn't technically Mion, but she got branded as Mion, and that was a whole complicated situation. But... Let me think. So Mion is she doesn't really fit in with the whole demon thing. She's not a mean person. She's very kind. She is one of the characters who in the original series, like, actually I think she's the only character in the original series to have never fallen to the Hinamizawa syndrome at any point, because of how she is strongly about being, like, understanding of people. Like, she doesn't want to, like, give into, like, paranoia or doubt people. Like, she's gonna try her best to talk it out with people, get an understanding on what's going on. And also, because she is in charge of the Shonozaki family, she has all the means to investigate everything she needs. So she also doesn't really have to worry too much or, like, get paranoid too often. She just can just be like, hey guys, give me some info. Anyways, I guess let me think. Yeah, but her whole thing is that she is very understanding to the club members and, like, other characters. She tries her best to help people with whatever means she can, and she also is the head of the Shonozaki family, and basically that does mean she is very responsible, and she is very, like, at times very harsh. So I was trying to think, I guess maybe a leader character would work for her as well.
Also a case of where the designs for the ladies of Higurashi are also coming to bite them a bit. Because they could work on the vast majority of the female survivor cast. Which is like, you know, Shion with the gun for coordinator, that could work. That would definitely be one of the options that they would offer up. Also, again, I have not done anything with Higurashi since middle school, so I am desperately trying to get my brain working again.
I do think...
I'm old. I'm fucking old.
It's okay, you're not that old.
I'm halfway in the grave.
No!
They're gonna get me back to the nursing home.
No!
A grandchild I didn't know of existed is gonna come in here and say, let's get you back to bed, Grandma.
Wait, I got you. I'll find someone to do that for us. Hang on. Announcement. There we go. So once someone answers, you have a child.
apparently I need to be put back in the nursing home.
I don't really think there's many characters who work as a leader type character in IDV. Like, a lot of characters kind of are very independent, and even so, within the games, a lot of characters kind of fight against each other, and like are rivals. There's not really a case where characters work together and
It's like a team. You might have occasion like one or two working together like temporarily, but none like full on going like, okay, we're all getting out of this game together.
yeah, and even so, usually the characters who do take a leadership type role, they don't
And
have.
dead.
Well, I was gonna say they don't have the nice and kind personality that Mion does, because usually either they get to that position by being like manipulative, or yeah, that's also true. They get pew pew.
They get fucking cute.
Yeah. So I think, unfortunately, just because there's not really a lot of options lore-wise, Mion is gonna just get coordinator.
It's just coordinator again.
Yeah, she's just a really safe and nice option.
Safe option, the nice option.
I think someone mentioned, like, oh, if there's ever gonna be a collab and there's a female character with a gun, is automatically just Cordy. And it's so true. It's automatically just Cordy.
It pretty much has to be, because again, just realistically, just with how IDV does is they will look at the characters that are suggested for the collab, and they will try to look at their own cast, find which ones are most similar to the vibes, like animation-wise and model-wise, to that character, and then offer them up to the person they're collabing with, like, okay, pick one.
Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes lore is considered, but that I don't think IDV goes out of their way to consider it.
They don't go out of their way, but they do look at the IP and go like, okay, what are they known for actually doing?
Yeah. Like, a lot of times it's more so about, like, okay, so, like, at a surface level, this is the character's abilities. Well, that ability works pretty well and matches with this character's ability. Or, you know, like we kind of said, like, aesthetics. Like, those are the main things. I think Paper Bride was the more recent one that did consider the lore a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would have rioted if Antiquarian was not included.
Yeah, but like, the actual Paper Bride was given to, like, Vera, and they're like the whole story behind that, and how, like, I think she was like a twin as well, and like how they kind of like replaced each other, and it was like very similar to Vera's actual story. I think that was a time they considered lore, and yeah, things like that. But if we look at
Death Note over here with Ryu going, hey, what's the freakiest one we got? Where is the biggest freak we have in the Hunter cast?
obviously it has to be Axe Boy.
It has to be the Leaping Lizard.
I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think about how often they consider the lore for the collabs, and like, I was like looking at Danganronpa, and it's like, I think we mentioned Miyu as a specific example of how Toy Merchant works as her like her ultimate and her abilities. Like, it fits really well, and it makes a lot of sense. But if you think about her personality, Anne and Miyu have nothing to do with, like, lore-wise.
Absolutely nothing to do with each other. They hate each other.
Yeah, personality-wise and lore-wise, they're nothing alike.
Hell, with Danganronpa collab with Junko, she'd hate the idea of not being able to give people alcohol. What do you mean I'm limited to just soda?
What, just because I'm a minor?
Just soda, I still can't give it out to everybody.
What, just because I'm a minor? Do you think I give a crap about the laws? Did you not see what I
Do
did?
you see what Junko does? You think she cares about laws?
Exactly.
This woman has a rap sheet of crimes the size of a dictionary.
Woohoo!
It is everything on there. If you ask, what has Junko done wrong? The answer is yes.
You want a specific list? How long are you willing to wait?
It would be easier to list the things she hasn't done. Donate it to charity.
Actually, I feel like she would have donated to charity, but she would have done it just because she was bored. Actually, the thing is, from what I remember from the Danganronpa lore, Juko actually has done a lot of good things in her life because she wanted to experiment with both hope and despair, and she wanted to see which one will make her feel like more good, I guess. Doing good things or doing bad things, and then she just decided, you know what, bad things it is.
Things it is. Again, it would be easier to list what she hasn't done wrong.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, moving on. Let's go on to Shion. So, I think the obvious answer lore-wise would be Vera because of the whole twin switcheroo kind of thing, and how in a lot of timelines, Shion does murder Mion to retake the Mion name.
Yeah, that fits. Vera has been slowly creeping up on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking circling her like a shark.
Yeah, lore-wise, it fits really well, and like the whole twin thing, it makes a lot of sense for her to get Vera. And I think Vera, like, generally is also a really popular character, so it would make sense that
she's insanely popular. A lot of people who main her might be assholes, but she is incredibly popular.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So I feel like it makes sense that she would get Vera. But you know, to throw other options onto the table, okay, well, I think Shion is mostly known for her taser, and also I guess her love for Satoshi, and also her grudge against the Shonozaki family for basically abandoning her, and then also that time they tortured her.
Yeah.
So thinking about that, I think we should kind of disregard the Satoshi thing for at least this, because there's not really, most characters are single in IDV except for 1, 2, but that I don't really think is
most. If they mention a partner, they are not involved directly in the game, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Geisha fans. We're still holding out for Miles. We're still holding out. We're inhaling that copium. He's gonna show up.
And then he shows up like 5 years later.
Let that man find his wife, please. Let him find out what happened. He deserves to know.
You know what would be really funny? What if in the story he goes to the manor, he tries to learn about what happened to Michiko, and then he dies never knowing?
Knowing the writers, they're not above that.
That'd be so funny. I have a messed up sense of humor.
You see while I go cry.
Honestly, I'm trying to think. I guess, like, I can't think of any characters. Okay, well, Anne, funnily enough, does have a strong grudge against her family because they did take all of her money after her mother gave her the money in her inheritance or whatever, and then, like, basically left her
miscarriage.
Yeah, and then left her destitute. But to be honest, I'm trying to think. I feel like a lot of characters actually have a lot of hatred towards their family, but who exactly would want revenge? Because Shion does take revenge.
That is actually a good question. Who in the cast actually gets their revenge on anybody?
Like, everyone kind of has a bad life with their family to some degree or another. The only character I feel like we can 100% eliminate from this idea is Emma, because she does genuinely love her parents, even though they both kind of fucked her up a lot.
Yeah. I think, like, speaking of, like, characters getting revenge, I think in, like, the fuck-ass Crow House, I think the closest was Mike. But then he stopped because he realized, shit, I have a conscience. I've started taking this too far. My home was not as great as I remembered it.
So I guess we could eliminate that part of her lore because it just doesn't really fit with a lot of characters, or at least not what we could think about right now. Last thing, her taser. So what if we give her to Luca?
Damn it, Luca, no! Back in the box!
I don't think we shot him dead enough. He came back. He's crawling out of the alleyway.
Gun. What do you think I've been shooting him with?
A train gun? I thought you were using bullets. No wonder why he's coming back.
He's my main. I can't kill him.
God damn it. I can't afford bullets anyways. Well.
He's going back in the box.
Alright, I got a couple padlocks.
In the box. He's staying in the box.
Alright, I got a few padlocks. Surely he can't break out of this one this time. Smiley face.
Surely he will not shoot his way out.
You know, now that I think of it, people do compare him to a rat. Well, hopefully that's not going to be important later. Anyways, let's disregard that idea.
Foreshadowing.
So, last option. This is purely just for the stunning and the electric thing. But Patty or Enchantress does kind of fit that. Like, we could replace her, like, ape curses things with a taser. And she just taps her taser and it just makes an electric field or something.
Probably could.
Yeah. But it feels like...
do what we do anytime Antiquarian gets a collabs skin. Just give them a stick.
So true. Honestly, that would fit. But I feel like they're kind of just, like, reaching. Like, I feel like making Xion a harasser does make sense. But I feel like both, like, Patty and Auntie are a bit of a stretch to some degree.
They are.
Yeah, I feel like Vera just kind of fits the best.
Vera, you've been fed another skin.
Yay! To the perfumer!
Bless you, Ghosty. Someone's awake.
It's you!
Someone's awake from his little nap.
Man, I love napping.
So does Ghost.
Alright. Wait, next on the list is Rena. Which actually, I feel like she also can kind of fit Antiquarian, considering... you know, the whole... She is considered one of the more violent characters. Well, it's technically a Nada, or like...
Or Nada, whatever you want to call it. She's
Cleaver.
the one actively beating people.
Yeah. Funnily enough, she is actually one of the more kinder and understanding characters, but she does have, like, a very bad, bad mental health, and if things go wrong, then she tends to be very violent, but that was only one timeline out of, like...
Several.
Like, well, 8, I guess, of the main ones. Like, we have Xion going crazy in 2, and I think Keiichi goes crazy in 2 as well. Like, episode 1 and episode 3. Like, the amount of times Rena is considered, like, the poster crazy girl child, but she doesn't actually go crazy or hurt anyone until chapter 6. Like, out of the quote-unquote, like, crazy characters of, like, Keiichi, Xion, and Rena, she is probably the least, because she has a lot of elements that Mion has as well. It's just that, unlike Mion, she has, like, really bad religious trauma as well, from the whole Oyashiro-sama thing.
Yeah.
Like, her mental health is weaker, but overall she still has the kind, understanding, like, patient personality that Mion has, and that does help her, like, stay sane for most situations. The only time she really snaps is when her family gets into debt because of the manipulation from, like, Rina.
Yeah.
So I guess moving on from that, I don't really know what to give. I don't really know what to give to Rena, to be honest.
Just knowing IDV, she would most likely end up being Antiquarian.
It does make sense because of, like, what she is known for. I guess like the whole, what's it called, you know, fighting people, beating people up.
Yeah.
But let me see, I'm trying to think. I do remember I talked about it a little bit ago, so I'm trying to see what did I put for her. Oh yeah, I did put Rena as Auntie, that's funny.
You already knew it! You knew it!
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really think there's many things in terms of like lore that really fits her. At least, if to some degree, she kind of fits Emma personality-wise, but aesthetic-wise, she fits Auntie a lot because she does, I guess, beat people up. And like the whole like her most iconic scenes are probably the water gun fight with Keiichi in episode 6, and also the rooftop fight with Keiichi in episode 6. And also the fact that like she's mostly thought about when she's carrying around her like cleaver and nada. So
yeah, that's just what is recognizable for her. And I will be right back. I gotta take care of some stuff for Ghost real quick. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Yay! I'm gonna eat some snacks, and I guess
Get snack.
in the meantime, I guess I'll consider other options. But like,
Be right back.
Like Auntie is a good option because, you know, beating people up. But I'm trying to think. I feel like to some degree, it doesn't feel like that nice of an option. I don't know why. I guess it's like, well, to be fair, Mion is also in a similar category where it's just yeah, we gotta think about aesthetic. We don't gotta really think about the lore too much or like anything like that. Shion and Keiichi kind of thinks about their narrative role and also their story a little bit. But yeah, I don't really think there's gonna be any satisfying answer. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it just kind of makes sense. It just kind of fits that better, unfortunately. I can't really think of anything else that would fit Rena right now. Like, I'm also trying to think, like, oh, what character is, like, super excitable and, like, likes cute things, but, you know, that isn't really a thing in IDV, because it is a horror game at the end of the day. The story is supposed to be more, like, dark and grim, so there's not really a lot of, oh my god, this is so cute kind of characters. Like, a lot of characters are just depressed and hate life to some degree. Like, to different degrees, but, like, you know. It's also more mature, I guess, so they don't really do those kind of things. I'm trying to think. Like, actually, funnily enough, Emma is a good contender for that. Or maybe Cheerleader is a good contender for that. But, yeah, Cheerleader is a decent contender. But I don't know if her ability fits with Rena either. But also, see, there are characters who have, like, who get characters that just make no sense ability-wise. Like, Eve, Mary getting Court, like, ability-wise, doesn't really make sense. And same thing with, like, Eve getting Alice. Like, ability-wise and lore-wise, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it might make a little bit more sense in terms of personality. So I think Cheer is an option. So between, I guess, Auntie and Cheer, like, they're both popular characters that I can see it going either way. So it's like, do we lean more into, like, her personality being similar to Cheer, but, like, aesthetically that just kind of makes no sense. Like, I feel like it kind of makes sense. Like, Rena is a supportive kind of person. She would cheer people on, but I feel like it would look so fucking weird in gameplay. Just her, like, chasing people around and being like, yay, yay, cook! I don't know. I don't think, it just doesn't look like it would look right, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I feel like it does work though. It's either Cheer or Auntie, because like Auntie does work in how she fights with people, and she, like, people mostly know Rena for her, like, fighting. But it is kind of sad because I don't think Rena does a lot of fighting, at least not until chapter 6 and then onwards. Like, she does have her, like, cleaver, and she does, I think, defend herself, but we don't really get to see her use her full abilities until, like, way later on. at least, yeah. Like, we see her in, like, episode 6 with the fight with Keiichi on the rooftop. And then, like, afterwards in episode 7 when, like, they have the showdown with Takano. And then after that, I don't think... In chapter 8, did she really fight anyone? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure she would have at some points. But I think Shion is honestly the, like, actual fighter of the group. But, like, Rena is competent. I'm just trying to think. It's more so, like, the only reason, like, I think cheer fits her a bit better, but I'm just trying to think what I want. Like, how would I see her supporting the other characters? Because, like, what I'm worried about is they would have to change up the animation, and I don't really see that happening. I mean, I feel like it can work. I feel like cheerleader actually works really well. Like, at least lore-wise and personality-wise. And I guess it's I mean, we don't have an harasser on the team yet, so I think we can give it to, and I don't know, it's really between Auntie and Cheer, and honestly, they both work really, really well. And I don't know, like, I guess, like, with, like, honestly, one thing that's a little bit difficult is the fact that Auntie's flute being changed to a cleaver. I can't imagine it not, like, her not smacking people with the actual pointed side at some points. And, like, you know, that's a bit too violent. But yet again, they could just make it so animation-wise it's always
I am so sorry about that. We had a jailbreak attempt.
Oh, no!
Ghost is on lockdown while he's still sick, and he slipped out the door.
Damn, that sounds like me.
It's just until he feels better, just that way, you know, the dog will leave him alone so he can get better.
Oh, so I was kind of doing some internal debating, and I was like, oh, I don't really feel like Antiquarian is, like, a very satisfying choice for some reason. So I was thinking about other options, and I was thinking, like, oh, her cutesy personality side. Maybe, like, for a while I was considering, like, her, like, the way her personality is, maybe it would fit better with Emma because of how she, like, how she pretends to be all cutesy and nice, but she has, like, I guess more dark feelings underneath. But then I was thinking, like, for reasons I don't want to choose, like, Emma, just, like, also because her gameplay just doesn't match whatsoever. And then I thought, oh, well, another character that kind of works for that, like, the cutesy aesthetic and, like, the sort of hyper personality is probably Cheerleader. And I was thinking, like, I feel like they actually fit each other really well. It's just the issue is, like, gameplay-wise, I feel like it would look really goofy.
Really, it would look pretty goofy having Rena just running around behind you.
Yeah. So right now, I'm considering
what is she using as the pom-poms?
That is a good question. What is she using as a pom-pom?
Because, like, with her esports skin, they have her, like, using light sticks.
Yeah, like, the thing is, I can't imagine what Rena would do. It's like, it fits, like, her personality would fit, and I could see her being a cheerleader. It's just, the issue is, I feel like I can't imagine what it would look like, and it feels like it would look too goofy either way. And, like, yet again, there are characters who don't, like, I feel like don't make sense as the collab character they are in terms of, like, gameplay. Like, Eve does nothing journalist-wise, or, like, it would not make sense for her to have, like, the journalist skin if you, like, think about, like, I guess gameplay.
If you do think of gameplay, yes. Eve is more like the exception to the rule.
Yeah. So I was thinking, what would be better? Like, I feel like the violence that Rena has is very limited. She only has, like, the big moment in episode 6, the big moment in episode 7, and then I think certain moments in episode 8. But otherwise, she doesn't have a lot of moments where she does bring out the nata and actually uses it for violence.
True, but a lot of her most iconic moments when you do look her up for Higurashi is involving that.
Yeah, that is true. So I was like, in terms of marketing, it would make sense to give Auntie to Rena. But at the same time, I also feel like personality-wise and like what Rena is mostly known for, if you like actually know her character, would probably be cheerleader. So I guess that's why I was kind of in between them. But you know, I also think Auntie is just a safer option overall. At least gameplay-wise, I can't imagine what that would look like, and I feel like that would make sense.
Yeah.
So, are we in agreement? Rena should be Auntie?
Yep, we're in agreement.
Yay!
We have debated this. We have looked at all the possible evidence.
Mm-hmm. It's either Cheer and Auntie, and unfortunately Auntie just looks nicer.
Looks nicer, and it is, and marketing-wise, it is what she would be more well-known for.
Yeah. Next, I guess, is Satoko and Rika, the two little girls. So actually, I guess, now that I think of it, who would be the shop, like, S tier that we can buy? Because pretty much, Keiichi is gonna be the freebie, we decided on that. And we decided Rika will be the Essence S tier. So who should be buyable?
Trying to think. Because I don't know if they've ever done one where there wasn't something you had to pay money for.
Yeah. So one thing is, I feel like with like Himmel, he is one of the most important characters in the series. But also, I guess compared to him,
He is, but also they tied it. He's not only heavily important to the series, but he's also incredibly popular.
yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking.
They knew they were gonna make bank off of him.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, like, the thing is, I don't want to separate the club members. So I feel like Shion should be the shop S tier. The issue is I don't know if she has enough importance for that, unfortunately speaking.
Well, gotta put it, keep in mind importance, but also gotta keep in mind how much would people be willing to dump money on her.
I mean, to be fair, I think Shion is actually one of the more popular characters in Higurashi. Like, I feel like in terms of popularity, Rena and Shion are probably the top. Though Rika probably follows pretty closely behind as well, because she is the main character. And due to the recent anime, I think Satoko is now higher up though. But from what I remember, back in the original run, Rena and Shion were like some of the most popular characters. In fact, Shion is still talked about a lot to this day because of how her story is very central to the message of Higurashi. So a lot of people like talking about that aspect. But also, a lot of people like to debate her as a yandere, and she is considered one of the first yanderes, and or like one of the first anime popular yanderes. And also, she was considered the queen of yanderes until eventually Yunogasai came along, and then eventually Yandere Simulator.
She walked so Yuno could start running.
Yeah.
And
So
then it's just gotten out of hand from here.
woohoo! You know what? I think it would be safe to just give her the shop S tier.
Yeah, honestly, it would be the same bet.
Yeah, especially since, unfortunately, she isn't exactly a part of the main club, and she she is important, but she doesn't really become a part of the club until like chapter 7. Like she plays she is a character that shows up in all the chapters from what I remember, but like she isn't a club member until way later.
Putting her in the shop would be the safest bet.
Yeah. She's kind of like Hanyu in a sense that it's hard to like place her as a main character at times. Like Keiichi, Mion, Rena, Satoko, Rika, like the 5 of them are like the core members, and you can you can always bring them up as like main characters. But Shion is also very, very commonly mentioned as a main character. Hanyu, I feel like, is not really commonly talked about as a main character. Probably because of like how late she comes into the series.
How late she comes in, you also got to keep in mind, due to like the nature of like anime versus visual novel, visual novels tend to have a lot more room to work with to give like character development and growth. Animes, just by nature of how they are made and how they tell stories, they don't have as much wiggle room.
Yeah.
Not to say that there aren't fantastic storytelling animes. No, there are brilliant ones out there, no. They just don't have the same amount of room to work with as like a visual novel, something you're meant to replay multiple times to make different types of decisions would have.
Or in the
That's
case
why,
with
like, a lot of dating sim animes tend to not work as well, because most of them will focus on like one route, forgetting the other stuff that happens in the others.
Yeah, I think having it be Shion is honestly a safe bet. So let's just... as much as I love her, and fun fact, Shion is actually probably my favorite character in Higurashi. Probably, yeah. I think, unfortunately, because of her weird status with the club, she probably should just be separate from them. Because it doesn't really make sense to separate anyone else. Like, Rena also would make sense as a shop S tier, because of her sheer popularity. I think like she is the most popular character compared to everyone else. But I don't know, I feel like...
It just feels weird separating her.
Yeah, it just feels weird taking a club member out of the club in a sense. But yet again, I guess Shion, Mion, and Satoko, and like all being together also kind of feels nice because it's like a big family kind of thing.
Separating the club just feels off.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, somebody's got to be the shop S tier.
It makes sense. Actually, it does make sense for it to be Rena as well. Rena is just really popular, and that does get like actually that. I think we should also consider who like the shop S tiers do tend to get a little bit more effects as well. So who would
extra effects? Get all the prettiness.
Yeah. So actually, I do think it would be better for it to be Rena in that sense. Like, actually...
Shion, we no longer have to pay money for you.
Yeah. Because, like, if you think about it, like, with Auntie, we can do more things with, like, her animations and, like... Because, compared to Auntie, Rena is a lot more energetic in terms of personality, so we have a little bit more room to like mess around and change things a little bit and give her like little effects. But if we went with the cheerleader route, we could just straight up change her animation completely.
True, we could. We'd be allowed to.
So I think we should give her the shop...
that animation department.
Yay! Okay, I think we should give Rena the shop S tier. And maybe we should go back and start debating if we do want to give her cheerleader instead of antiquarian.
Well, making her shop S tier would definitely make them put more budget towards and more willingness towards actually like changing up animations and model stuff.
Yeah. Like,
I'd be more than happy to rig new things.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, Cheer's pom-poms aren't an item that you can collect or anything, so you don't have to worry about, like, actually giving her
Other
pom-poms.
characters picking them up and going, what is this?
Yeah, like, you don't have to actually worry about giving her, like, anything in terms of items. She doesn't have to have, like, pom-poms. She could just be cheering, which kind of fits Rena's character. She could be like...
Like, you know, it's like Composer's tuning fork. Nobody else is picking up that tuning fork. Frederick's not dropping it. That's his.
Yeah.
Find your own.
So theoretically, what we could do is we could just not have anything be her pom-poms, and instead just change up her animation to make it more Rena-like. Her being like, yay, go Kichi!
Kind of running around, clapping, yelling.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure she does have, like, animation, like, scenes or animations where she does cheer on other characters. So it does actually fit really well, in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna say I want her to be cheerleader. I'd rather her be cheerleader than Auntie.
So shop S tier figured out. Shion's back with everybody else.
And that also does mean that if for the Umineko part, we can have Auntie as an option for that.
Yeah.
we can save Auntie for other characters.
You're gonna get your turn, Auntie. You just gotta be patient.
Also, Cheerleader is an extremely popular character as well, so I feel like it fits. Moving.
Who's next on the list?
Alright, next is Satoko. So I guess first thing is, what she is known for is probably, she's kind of a brat, I guess? But, like, I don't
She's
think...
a little bratty little kid, yeah.
Yeah, but also, I don't think anyone in the IDV cast really fits that in terms of personality, because they're all adults, so...
Except for, like, little girl, they're all pretty much adults by all technicalities, except for, like, Robbie, but do we really want to make her a hunter?
Huh.
Kid could be, like, a little annoying, but not that annoying that I want her to go around killing people.
Yeah.
Or, you know, getting, you know, beaten up by every single harasser in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess let's not think about the bratty part, then.
Yeah.
So, second thing she's really known for is her trap master, like, trait, where she's able to make a lot of, like, traps and is able to use them to, I guess, attack people. Mostly Keiji. Now, I don't think there's any characters who can make traps within IDV, but to some degree, maybe, like, Toy Merchant works for that?
Toy Merchant could work. Emma with the toolbox could also technically work.
I'm trying to think, what characters make things and then, like, uses them?
Emma's know-how is not just limited to plants. That a woman can tear apart and repair and fix stuff very easily.
And they set people on fire.
I mean, anybody can set anybody on fire.
Yeah, but she does it really well.
On fire. But there's not much stopping, other than, you know, my own morality and consciousness.
Okay, but are you able to fully disarm a man bigger and stronger and taller than you? And then stuff him into a scarecrow and then set him on fire? That takes a bit of working and knowledge.
Depends. How much prep time do I got? And how dirty can I fight?
As dirty as Emma, and as much time as Emma.
I mean, I probably could. Get desperate enough, I probably could. Like, considering what creature was planning, yeah, I would get desperate enough.
I'm trying to think. I would say, like, I do feel like Toy Merchant works just because I feel like the toys and at least the catapult mostly does fit with the trap master kind of thing that Satoko has going on. And but the thing is, there's not really any characters that places things down. To some degree, I feel like she does somewhat work as a harasser as well. She is a very harassy type character, I guess, with like how constantly she tries to prank people and mess with people.
And often, you know, gets some comeuppance when she does.
Unfortunately, there's not really a lot of female harassers other than, let me think, Perfumer. Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
We have 3, and that's it.
Does Cordy count?
With like a one-time use, yes. But the second coordinator's out of gun, that's it.
Well, same thing could apply to, like, I guess, Auntie in that sense. Well, she has, like, several taps.
Hers is not a one-time use and has a bit more flexibility.
Oh, wait, there's Archer!
Fuck, how did we forget about Archer? Girl, I'm so sorry. How we forget about you?
To be honest, I don't think Archer fits Satoko at all anyway, so.
No. No, she doesn't, but I still can't believe... Girl, I know out of the V loves Ithaca takes my attention the most, but I am so sorry, girl.
Honestly, I can't really think of anyone other than Toy Merchant to take Satoko's role.
There just aren't very many characters that fit with what she's known for, and we can't just give her to Robbie. You know what they'll do to her.
Actually, maybe we should give it to Robbie.
Is it mandatory to have a hunter skin?
I mean, think about it. We don't have a hunter, and also, like, if we do that, we free up little girl, because then we don't have to worry about character proportions.
I mean, true, but oh boy.
Well, I guess Toy Merch it is. But we'll consider. We'll consider.
We'll consider someone more fitting shows up.
No, I was gonna say we're gonna consider Axe Boy. Actually, no, we can't do that because I feel like the hunters automatically get the S tier for the essence.
Yeah, they do tend to automatically get that S tier.
Yeah.
I think the only one who didn't get an S tier is from the Eve collab, and that was Gary. But then again, the Eve collab was one of those like times where it's an exception to the rule.
Well, just because of that, she's safe. I guess she just gets Toy Merchant then. What a shame. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who want to beat up Sadako. But anyways, moving on from that, time for Rika.
I mean, come on, little girl's right there.
Okay, but if she's a little girl, then, like, I feel like Sadako not getting a little girl would be kind of weird, you know? Unless we want to get two skins to little girl.
Yeah, sure, feed her even more than we already do.
Did you know she's getting a new skin for Koa?
Again?
I know, right?
Girl, you had your turn!
No, like, you know how, like, the winners, they choose a skin after the Koa is over? Yeah, her and Mary get a new skin.
Oh boy.
Woohoo! So, in terms of, I guess, her initial impression, she is the shrine maiden and the head of the Furore family.
I'm trying to put some thought into this.
There's not really any characters that work as a Miko. At least not.
There really isn't.
Yeah.
The only character we have so far that would have any connection to that faith would be Geisha. And she is definitely not fitting for Geisha.
Yeah. And also, unfortunately for her, her main personality just really fits a little girl archetype. So if we're if we are not going to choose a little girl just because Satoko would be too tall and that would be kind of awkward, I think what we should do is, yeah, like, we should choose another survivor. But here's an idea, a sort of crack idea, okay?
I'm listening.
Okay, so, because she is, like, in the end, she is, like, the more powerful character with her time looping ability, what if we give her Dream Witch, right? And, like, the main body is Frederica Bernkastel, and then her, like, the followers are all Rikas.
You got the potential for another shop S tier right there.
I mean, Rika, we did already give Rika the S tier a lot.
Yeah. Holy shit. There you go.
We're gonna choose Dream Witch?
You got the big brain idea.
Rika's Dream Witch? I mean, like, okay, like, it seems like a pretty fun idea, at least.
We got the big brain idea coming out.
Okay.
Someone's holding the brain cell and it ain't me.
So another idea of this was something I kind of to be fair, I actually did want to give her perfumer at first because of her time traveling and like reversing ability, but we gave that to Shion, so that's not gonna work anymore. So then another thing I was thinking about was maybe we can give her doctor, because she does have like she does use the cure for the Hinamizawa syndrome sometimes, and like I guess she can use it to heal herself. And are we desperate enough that we could just give her doctor?
There's also with like the time things, another one that like if we stretch it a bit, that it could work. Lanterness could also work.
Yeah.
But then again, that is also stretching things a little bit.
Well, to be fair, Dream Witch is also stretching things a bit.
Dream Witch is the 4K idea.
I feel like just imagine announcing that though. That would be so fucking controversial. Rika as a hunter.
Rika as a hunter, think, people, think.
I promise you, it's brilliant. Just look at it.
Like wait, let him cook. Wait.
Like sure, Rika is beating up her friends, but just think about it as a friendly game of There's a fighting game where Rika does that anyways.
Like wait, just think, man, just think.
Like, I'm telling you, it may be a crack idea, but it's brilliant in his own way.
Like, hold on. We're cooking with this one.
Do we want to give Rika something more time related in terms of ability, and give her lanterness, or do we want to give her like a more, I guess, safe option, and give her something like doctor? Because everyone likes doctor, I guess.
I say we take some risks, give her lanterness.
Alright, lanterness it is.
Why not? She's new. She's newer to the cast. Let her get a collab skin.
Yay! And the Dream Witch idea dies.
We're sorry, Dream Witch. I know. You've been dying for another collab skin since they decided to take away Junji Ito. I know.
To be fair, I feel like if we announce, okay, Rika is Dream Witch, I swear to God, I'm going to get canceled. IDV would get canceled. Everyone would get canceled. No one's going to be happy. Sure.
IDV would get canceled. We all get canceled. I breathe wrong, I get canceled.
Woohoo!
You say you like pancakes on Twitter, or someone comes up to you like, so you hate waffles?
No, bitch, that's a whole different sentence. Or whatever the code is.
That is a brand new sentence, entirely unrelated to what I was talking about.
So that is all of Higurashi. Yippee!
Yay!
So, are you ready to move on to Umineko?
I remember nothing about Umineko. Now let's fucking go.
So, have you seen the visual novel, or have you seen the manga?
Nope, I am going into this blind.
Ooh, this is gonna be like heavy spoilers though. Are you sure about this?
Lay it on me. I don't know how old this thing is. It might be too late to avoid them.
It's 20. Okay, so the thing is, it is a niche visual novel. So the thing is, unless you specifically seek out Umineko content and interact with that side of the community, you are not gonna get spoilers. Like, as long as you do not say anything about Umineko and you don't search up anything about Umineko, the chances of you accidentally running into spoilers are pretty much minimum. And also,
it's still late on me.
Alright, it is 20 years old.
This keeps you from screaming into the void.
Well, to be fair, I did do, I think there was a recent stream that was like 3 hours. Let me see, where was it? It was like, I think, 2 weeks ago. Give me a second, I'm gonna look at my channel. We're gonna do some, is this ego searching? Does this count as ego searching? This doesn't, I'm just going straight to my channel, I don't feel like it counts.
It's only ego searching if you're like Googling yourself in hopes of seeing like hundreds of positive reviews or something like that.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I know, I'm in my own weird little corner doing my own weird little thing. I'm not expecting myself to really have that many Google search results.
Yeah, okay, so it was last week, 8 days ago. I did a stream called I'm Gonna Yap About Fictional Media and Go Crazy, hee. And that one I did, if I remember correctly, I talked about the 8 most important media franchises to me, or specifically, I was making a top 8 list. And I was just saying why they were important to me and whether or not I should put them on the list. But, like, honorable mentions were IDV and, like, a Minecraft series I used to really like, and then, like, a different anime that was, like, really impactful and emotional to me. And then, like, the top 8 were Danganronpa V3, Umineko, The Witch's Heart, Madoka Magica, Sailor Moon, and Pretty Cure I decided to put in the same category. Then Corpse Party. Begrudgingly, I put Yandere Simulator on it. And then eventually this webtoon called The Tyrant Wants to Be Good. But anyways, that whole stream, while I was talking about all of that, right, was 3 hours long. So I am very capable of just yapping into the void for a very, very long time. So I will say, if you are interested in experiencing Umineko unspoiled, because I do plan on doing a playthrough of Umineko, and I don't plan on spoiling it or saying anything while I'm playing it. In fact, I will have a rule that I will ban anyone who hints at a spoiler or, like, actively tries to spoil the series. Like, even though I know what's going on, I don't want spoilers in the chat, right?
Alright.
So, if you want to experience the game, there is gonna eventually be a time where I play Higurashi and Umineko. And if you want to, I guess, go into it blind and sort of try to figure out the mystery of it, you can do that, and you can, like, leave the call here. But also, another thing is...
I kind of do. I can experience it vicariously through your stream.
Yeah, also, actually, another thing is, because I technically have experienced the mystery of Umineko, and I know the answer already, I was planning on having someone be a partner on the stream. That way, you know, like, you can discuss, like, the theories and stuff like that, or, like, make, I guess, talk about it, and be like, so this is who I think the culprit is, this is what I think is going on.
You don't run the risk of me pulling out the clue board.
Don't worry, it's kind of expected. Like, the whole, like, there is a big thing with Umineko, where the author kind of basically says, I want you to go out of your way to solve the mystery. Like, do whatever you can, write down all the clues, like, genuinely try to solve this mystery. So, like, I just want to say, I watched someone pull out Excels and then start writing everything down on Excel sheet.
No, I'm not pulling out the Excel sheet. I'm pulling out Obsidian.
Yeah, but, like, that works as well. If you want, you... Like, I will also give an invite that you can be a partner on the stream.
I happily would be. We just gotta make sure we don't line up the times where we're both available.
Yeah, that does, unfortunately with me, and, like, how bad I am with scheduling things, and also how bad I am with, like, keeping track of my schedules, that might be a pretty difficult thing, because I think I've mentioned wanting to do this stream, like, several times over the course of, like, several months as well. This has technically been in the works for, like, maybe 2 years. So...
we will figure it out one day.
Yeah, but if you want to experience Umineko and learn who the characters are and figure out the mystery of what's going on, I would recommend just letting me do this part alone.
Alright. So I will hop out. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining.
Alright, you have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye. So we are going to make this part a closed call part, and I'll give it a little bit of time to make sure everyone gets out of it, but I have decided already who is going to get the Umineko one. So this is going to be a different essence. We're going to assume, like, you know, Higurashi's, like, essence 1, and then, like, this is a whole different collab, which makes sense because it's also a different media, you know. I'm pretty sure, like, you know, like, with the game, like, Danganronpa, each game has different collabs, so we're gonna do it like that. And the characters I was going to put are probably gonna be the cousins, or, like, the characters that are considered part of the cousins, which is going to be, Battler, Jessica, George, Maria, and then Shannon and Conan. Now, one thing is, this is actually a little bit easier to have a hunter character if we include Beatrice. Actually, what? Okay. Okay, so the thing is, maybe we could eliminate Maria for Beatrice because I think we should keep the maximum amount of characters to 6. Okay, so I think having... Okay, so actually, the thing is, I feel like Maria as a character is a little bit more important than George or Jessica. Like, I feel like they're, like, all the characters are important, right? I love all the characters, but, I would rather keep Maria over the 2 of them, but I also want to keep them. So, this is gonna be difficult. Like, also, well, to be fair, the servants, Shannon and Conan, are probably easier to eliminate as well, but what's the word? I don't know, I like them too much. They're my favorite characters, guys. Like, please, it's for me. It's for me. Okay, well, actually, you know, we're gonna probably eliminate Maria, unfortunately. Maybe Maria, you know what? Maybe this could be a fucked up thing to do. Maria could be a little pet that the survivors can carry around. I was originally gonna... Actually, one of the reasons why I was kind of hesitant to give Rika or Satoko a little girl was because I wanted to keep the space open for Maria, because in her game, or like, she is the only little girl, right? And I'm pretty sure she's younger than Rika and Satoko. So it would make sense for her to get little girl, but because I don't think we have enough space, I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to keep her as a... Okay, so I'm gonna put Beatrice instead. Instead of Maria. Originally, Maria was gonna be little girl, though. That was kind of just set in stone. There was not really much debate. She is the little... Like, she works as a little girl character, and she kind of is, like, the only character that... Like, that's the only character, like, body-wise that would make sense. And there's not really a lot of character... Like, there's not really a lot of characters that sort of fit her in terms of, like, personality. Aesop actually probably fits her the best, but he's a guy, and unfortunately they don't really allow cross-dressing in IDV, like, so that doesn't really work. So if we're going to, I think what we should do is have Battler be the Essence S tier, or actually, yeah. The thing is, this is going to be really difficult because kind of no characters really deserve the S tier for the Essence. Okay, so, well, more like, there's no characters that really should be a freebie, in my opinion, and there's no characters that should be, like, the S tier Essence, other than Battler or Beatrice. So, one of them has to be a shop skin. So, like, I feel like Battler and Beatrice have to be the S tiers. It just depends on which one should be the Essence and which one should be the, like, the shop. And I feel like either way it could work. So I think we're gonna not consider placement just yet. Also, freebie is gonna be really difficult. I think Jessica and Conan should be Essence. So it's between George and Shannon. Okay, so I think if we're going to put Battler into the shop and have Beatrice be the Essence, then it would make sense to put George as the freebie. But if we have Battler as the Essence instead, then I think it would make more sense to have Shannon be the freebie, right? So one of them is going to be the freebie. And then Jessica and Conan will have to be in the Essence. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to talk about it. So, if I'm going to be honest, I think there's not really any characters that really fit this. So, Lucky Guy was chosen for Keiichi because of how he's sort of a generic protagonist type character that can, like, fit in. And it sort of works with how Keiichi's role was to be, like, the self-insert in the very beginning as you get used to Hinamizawa. And, like, of course, Keiichi is, like, obviously much more complicated than that. He has a lot of, like, his own personality, backstory, and, like, things going on. He isn't like the average guy. In fact, I think it's kind of hinted that he might also be autistic. At least that's a popular fan theory. I don't know. But, I think, okay, so, like, I kind of already decided this a long time ago, but I think, actually, I don't remember what I said originally, because I do remember I actually did discuss this on stream at a certain point, but I don't really remember what I said. But due to Novelist, like in the actual IDV story, Novelist is the main character, and their stories are kind of similar. Like, Battler is trying to figure out who Beatrice is, and, like, Novelist is trying to, like, figure out who Alice is, or, like, figure out, like, where she is, and, like, how to help her, and stuff like that. And to some degree, Battler is doing the same thing with Beatrice, but at first they started as a rivalry. But I would say, I think the only option that really makes sense for Battler would be Novelist. And then for Beatrice, I think she has to be a hunter. And the option is between Geisha and Mary, in my opinion. I feel like they are the ones that fit the best. I don't know much about Mary's lore, so I can't really say anything about that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm choosing this based off aesthetics. Like, Beatrice makes a lot of sense as Mary just because they both have really big poofy dresses, and it just, like, would be a more on model, right? But because she's gonna be a S tier, we also have some free, like, we have a little bit of freedom to work with things and stretch our imaginations. So one thing I was thinking about is, Beatrice does have this sort of casual outfit where she has, like, a short skirt and, like, stockings and stuff like that, and, like, I don't know how to describe it. More like a schoolgirl outfit, almost. Like, she has a blazer on and, like, a dress shirt and stuff like that. So I feel like what we can do is we can have her switch between that form and, like, I guess the main Beatrice form, but, like, a little, like, the dress may be a little bit less poofy to make it fit with Geisha a little bit more. And I feel like it fits because, like, Beatrice's whole thing is the butterflies, right? And she attacks people with butterflies. Which is kind of why I wanted to choose Geisha, but I don't know which one fits better lore-wise. Like, okay, I'm trying to think. Okay, so Geisha's lore. She wanted to marry Miles, so, like, actually, it kind of works. Like, her whole lover thing, and then, like, her getting killed, because, why is my hamster glitching? Her getting killed because of, They didn't want her to marry Miles, pretty much. I don't really know Geisha's lore, unfortunately, but I feel like it kind of fits with, because, like, Beatrice's most important, like one of the biggest aspects of her character is her love, right? Her love for the people the love for the people she loves, and then also, I'm sorry, I don't really know how to describe it. Like, it fits, and also with how Beatrice is, like, does die. Like all the Beatrices die. I feel like it does make sense for her to be Geisha, but there's also Mary, and I don't really know much about Mary's lore. I know she's sort of like the hunter switch for Frederick, but that's also not really, like, not actual. Like, she's not an actual switch, but she's, like, it's hinted that Frederick, like, Mary is the hallucination that came from Frederick being around, and her being, like, related to Frederick. And, okay, so she's also, so I don't remember her lore. I'm trying to think about, like, what happened in, like, Ashes of Memory. So she does die. She was married to a man, and then he gives her a lot of presents, and then, like, a racetrack was one of the presents, but then eventually, like, I think rumors spread, and then, like, she was, like, people thought she was, like, a cheater, and she was, like, dating one of the horse handlers or something, and then she kills herself because of that, if I remember correctly. Now, I remember there was, like, a talk about it on Twitter, because this is actually something I've talked about before when I first got into IDV, but I haven't really thought about, like, IDV and Umineko at the same time in a really long time, right? Like, I talk about both of them a lot, personally, privately, not on stream. But, you know, despite the fact that they're both, like, really big hyperfixations for me, I haven't really considered what if they were together, kind of thing. So I'm gonna be honest. I actually don't really. I know there was talks about it by someone, and and it was more specifically about how like Mary's story as a woman and like the misogyny she faced, if I remember correctly. But I can't really. I don't know much about it, so I can't really say much about it. So aesthetically speaking, I feel like it makes a lot of sense for her to be Mary. Like we could do a lot of things with the mirrors. We can make it like really beautiful and like decorated with flowers and like roses and like with her like the thing is there's usually accessories with either the shop S tiers or the SS tiers. And she is an S tier, so we can add a lot of golden roses, like whatever she uses her abilities and stuff like that. So it works. I feel like Mary being Beatrice works really well, at least like aesthetically. I don't really know about lore-wise. I think it does work lore-wise, but I cannot speak on that personally myself, just because I don't know Mary's lore. I feel like Geisha does work, but aesthetically it might be a bit weird, and we might have to like work around it a little bit. We might have to I feel like it works mostly because of the butterflies and like her two forms kind of. But I guess like the big thing is that she's gonna be floating unless we're allowed to use like Tomie's model and have like the Beatrice, like her main Beatrice walking around. But then I feel like that'd be too confusing. I don't know. Like seeing a walking geisha sounds so wrong. I don't know, like I like the butterfly idea, but I just don't think it works. I think, yeah, like I'm pretty sure people have said this before, but she kind of has to be Mary. Okay, moving on. So we're gonna talk about Jessica and Conan at the same time, so we're gonna not talk about them right now. So I think Satoko was like, we mentioned wanting her as Emma potentially, and I was actually against that. And the reason why is because I already actually for the Umineko's characters, I kind of already have everything set already. Like with the Higurashi characters, I was kind of like, like I was like, some things are debatable. But with the Umineko characters, I kind of already have everything in mind because I love Umineko a lot and I thought about things a lot. But I think Shonen should have Emma. Reason why is because in chapter 3 and like onwards, her metaverse ability is her shield. And she plays I think it's in chapter 2 that we first see it, but her abilities are all defensive. She can create a barrier around herself and like use it to protect others, and she could also and I feel like that works really well for Shonen. And also, not to mention, now we're gonna get into spoilers, okay? So we're gonna talk about the character's personality and a bit of their lore. So Shonen seems very nice and kind. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say she's bubbly, but she gives an impression that, like, she's very optimistic and positive, right? Especially compared to Conan. Her contrast with Conan is the fact that she's the hopeful one, while Conan is the more depressive one, right? She, even though she doesn't really see herself very highly, she does, at the very least, she does believe in the possibility of her having a happy life. And knowing what we do about, I guess, 𝑇𝑎, right? It was similar to Emma. The whole happiness and the whole hope and optimism is very much a front. I don't know how to describe it. I wouldn't really necessarily say that Shonen being hopeful of a happy life is a lie, but it's just Shonen, I guess, that's the face she has. But on the inside, she is the mastermind of the whole series, and if if you consider Emma, how she would her letter where the Alice wrote, how she was going, she was sort of manipulating things behind the scenes to get things to work the way she wanted it to, sort of manipulating things so all the characters can die because she wants revenge for all the ways they fucked her up. I think it works really well personality wise. Her Emma, like, most people thinking Emma's like the sweet, kind, loving, like, character and the poster child that's all like bubbly and happy, and like Shannon sort of fits that as well, but secretly they're both like more conniving and a little bit like manipulative and like, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't say either of them are cruel. I don't really know how to describe it, but they do have that similar vibe to them. So that's why I want to give Shauna and Emma. Like, aesthetically speaking and personality and lore wise, it just fits really, really well. Like, pretty much everything about it fits really well. That's kind of why I really like like, that's kind of why Umineko is really set in place. I feel like for most characters, they actually fit really well, like ability wise and aesthetically, like ability wise, aesthetically, and also like lore wise. It, like, they fit a lot better than Higurashi, but it also could be that I just don't. I haven't thought enough about Higurashi. I don't know. Okay, moving on. We're going to go to George, which kind of immediately falls apart with what I just said because I actually have no idea what to give George. Okay, so with George and Shannon being a thing, I was trying to think what makes sense to ship her with, right? And I think in the tweet, I said that realistically speaking, the character that fits the most with George, ability-wise and aesthetic-wise, would probably be Lawyer. Because George is one of the smartest characters within, like, the Urashiro-miya. Like, in the Urashiro-miya family, he's one of the smartest ones. In fact, I think canonically, he could 100% solve the mystery of Umineko way better than Battler or Beatrice, but he doesn't because he just doesn't want to, like, suspect people, and he's, like, really nice about it, right? He's a really nice guy. So, so I wanted to give him, like, someone like Lawyer, because Lawyer is smart. Lawyer's not nice, but Lawyer is smart. And also, it's like Lawyer has his glasses, George has his glasses. I felt like it fit, you know? Like the animation for a Lawyer, I feel like it 100% fits on George as well. The issue is, like, yeah, personality-wise, but also, imagine shipping Gardner and Lawyer together. I was just thinking, God, that's so cringe. That's so disgusting. Why would you do that, right? But on a flip side, you know what? One of the most, like, meme thing about George talking hamster. I know, right? It's so cute, isn't it? I am a talking hamster. Yay! I also can, like, move around a lot. Guys, one did get the ability to talk to animals. You know what? Sometimes things can happen. Character arcs can happen, and you can become, you can gain superpowers just like that. Kaboom! Overnight, you just become, I don't know, a superhero. Anyone can be a hero if they put their mind to it and work hard enough for it, you know? Okay, so one of the big things that people meme on with George, for one, he's 23 and he's dating Shannon, who's 16. So if you do the math, there's a 7-year age difference. And then you, Rainbow Six Siege servers were down. Me and my buddies were meant to play, but since the servers aren't down, we haven't been able to. Oh, damn, that sucks. Still waiting for them to be fixed. I hope it gets fixed soon. I hope you and your buddies get to play and win all your matches. Oh yeah, so like George, like, he gets hated on because of his relationship with Shauna, and it makes sense because, like, he was 17 years old when he first mentioned that he had a crush on Shauna, and, you know, do the math. We were supposed to play ranked siege at that's really late. I'm trying to think, like 10 p.m. It's really late for me. I would want to go to sleep by then. I'm kind of surprised people would play games at that time. So honestly, I think lawyer works because no one really likes lawyer that much, in my opinion. Like I feel like lawyer is sort of like a meme character, in IDV. Like he gets made fun of. He's like always listed as like at the bottom of people's tier list. And what the hell is that? You know, I'll look at that later. Probably not important. And then, so I feel like it kind of works just aesthetically, ability-wise. And then, like, if they're both, like, sort of dogged on a lot and, like, hated by their respective fandoms. Like, I don't think George is necessarily as hated as Lawyer. But he, comparatively, he is probably the only character that a lot of people like to shit on. That and king-𝑍. So, I don't know, there's probably a lot of characters, but I see a lot of George hatred throughout the years. And there's always, like, it always brings so much debate, though. It's always, like, so controversial. But I feel like, to some degree, Lawyer makes sense in that sense. But at the same time, I kind of want to, not do that. I feel like I think I just gave him Eli because I was like, you know what? Eli seems smart and he seems nice. That fits George's personality good enough. You know, George seems like a kind of person that would want to protect people, I guess. Eli does that. But also, another thing is, George is a martial artist. He's very competent. He just doesn't show his competency within the story that often, I don't think. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know many characters that, like, okay, 𝑚atador. 𝑚atador is a recent character that was added, and he does have combat abilities like that. I feel like, okay, with how 𝑚atador, like, looks, like, you know, the way he holds out his hand, it kind of feels like like, to some degree, it kind of, this may be a stupid and cringy way to look at it, but it kind of looks like he's like, stay back, my ladies, I'll protect you. Like, if we just remove, like, the little, like, thing, I feel like that works. It's stupid, but it kind of works, and it's less cringy, right? What? Oh, god damn it, that thing again. Okay, so I feel like 𝑚atador can't work. It's just really stupid. But to be fair, like, Lawyer works, but then there's just, like, a bit of an uncomfortableness if you think about it. And then, like, actually, how much do we consider the main, like, the characters underneath for these collabs, right? This makes me, like, I think with, the Link Click collab, whoever Acrobat was, people were like, oh my god, like, this character does not fit Acrobat at all. Like, the emotes especially, like, this character would never do this. This character would never roll on the floor and be like, so you know what, maybe we could just, like, just because, like, Emma and, Freddy would never date, doesn't mean Shannon and George could never date. You know? Like, I just feel like Lawyer fits so well, it's just, there's just an uncomfortableness if you think about it in too long. But you know what? You know what? Other than, like, 𝑚atador and, like, Eli, and, like, those are me stretching it by a lot. So I think we're just gonna give Lawyer to George. Like, unfortunately, it just makes the most sense. It's just a bit uncomfortable, but you know what? It kind of fits considering the fact that George and Shannon's relationship is kind of uncomfortable in that sense. But the thing is like, George and Shannon are really it's a really healthy couple, and George is genuinely really kind and loving. It's also kind of funny, but George used to be an incel as well, which is another thing that people dog on him for. And honestly, I don't really care about that. I feel like if someone used to be, like, a bad person or have hateful or bad, like mindset and they grew out of it, then that's that. I'm not here to dog on that, so, but you know what, but I guess we can consider it. Freddy is a bit of an incel in my opinion. Well, like, the way he acts, a bit, like, the mentality. So I'm gonna say, I think, I think as awkward as it is, we're just gonna give him lawyer. I really don't think there's any better options. Matador kind of works in terms of like aesthetic, and then Eli kind of works in terms of personality, but I feel like lawyer just works a little bit too well. But like the only thing that I would say is a bit off is the fact that what's up? The only thing I would say is off is that lawyer is like, he's kind of an asshole. From what I remember, he didn't even treat Martha that well when they were like together. Well, actually, I don't know. The thing is that it's a bit weird, but from in the beginning of the story, it does look like Martha and Freddy's relationship actually was relatively happy and healthy. But like but then eventually he became like really controlling, right? And like the thing is, I don't know if her being with Freddy was better than her being with Leo, right? Like in terms of who was like the better partner. And to be fair, Freddy did manipulate things in order to make Leo a horrible partner, or at least as bad as things got. So it is a bit questionable. I don't know. Like but at the very end of the day, I think lawyer was a pretty bad person and a pretty bad partner as well. But so it's a bit questionable in that aspect to give him to George. I feel like Eli does fit in terms of personality better, but it's just aesthetically lawyer fits a lot better and like ability wise, and like if you stretch some things it can work a little bit better. You know, actually honestly, all three characters kind of fit to different degrees. Like I don't know which one I'm leaning towards more. Honestly, maybe we should just go with personality. Personality wise, Eli fits a lot better. Like, sure, he doesn't have, I guess, the glasses and, like, the little scrawny, like, scratching the head, reading the thing kind of thing. Which I feel like would fit really well for George, but, you know what, you know what, I think, yeah, we should just give him to Eli, actually. And also, Eli's a good partner. Eli, like, I'm pretty sure, like, canonically, Eli is good to Gertrude. And, like, Gertrude loves him. And, like, they have, like, a happy, loving, like, marriage and stuff like that. Or engagement. I don't know. So I think Eli fits better. I think Eli fits better in terms of personality. And, like, yeah, he doesn't have, like, to be fair, lawyer's ability doesn't even really fit George that much. I mean, it makes sense. But to be fair, like, it's just kind of, like, a generic ability anyways. I feel like this works, okay? This works. This works a little bit better. And George is a very protective character of, like, everyone else. So I feel like this works pretty well. Okay, last but not least. No! My edamame! Wait, I dropped my snacks. Stay here, guys. I'll be right back. I'm thinking about editing all this down and, like, clipping it. No, where did it go? My snack. I can't just leave it on the floor. What if I ask to grab it? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's all the way in the dusty corner. Goddamn. Okay, so, straight up, there's two options. One where they're not really considered as a duo, and one where they are considered as a duo. Now, it's very easy to say, if they are considered as a duo, Conan gets Emil, Jessica gets, Ada. And if I'm gonna be fully honest with you, that is the one I lean towards very, very heavily. Why? Because Conan is my favorite character in Umineko. By far, I have a whole shrine for him. It's talked about in the Discord server a few times that I have, like, so many things for Conan. I have, like, a custom-made plushie for him and things like that. Like, I strongly love him, okay? Wait, I'm looking. Let me see if I have anything about it. Okay, I think I deleted the messages because I didn't want like IRL pictures to be like shown, and I didn't want people to like, oh no, did my thing crash or is it just lagging? Okay, well the stream is moving again. I hope. Is that a Twitch problem or is that a me problem? Hang on, let me check. Okay, well, it's moving. It's moving. I hope it's okay. Okay, but I'm trying to think. Khan's my favorite character, yeah? So I love him a lot. He means a lot to me. So I want to give him Emil just because Emil means a lot to me. Emil is by far my favorite character in all of IDV. And that's not even a contest. Like, it is Emil. It's always Emil. It's going to always be Emil. So that's why I want to give, like, Kana and Shonen to Ada and Emil. And their story, like, ability-wise, does fit a lot. Like, okay, into chapter 2 and, like, the metaverse stuff. Kanan's ability is that he's a very fast character. And, like, he does have, like, his little sword that he has on his hand. He's a combat character. But he also is known for being able to jump on walls and like jump off of walls and stuff like that. He's like known for his speed and like mobility, right? So I feel like it makes a lot of sense for Kana to have Emil, like in terms of ability, right? Like it just fits really, really well. And then the character story for Kana and Shonen, like the character story for Kanan and Emil kind of works really well with each other. With like Kanan as a character is a little bit less, like he doesn't really have a lot going on, and that's because he kind of it wasn't really meant to have a lot of things going on, at least not by Sayo, right? Or not by Yasuda. What he does is he's kind of there to be the negativity that Shonen is not allowed, right? He's there to just basically tell people that he doesn't want to hang out with. I don't want to hang out with you. Shonen will hang out with them out of politeness. Kanan will just tell you, actually, I don't really think you're that fun to hang out with. Honestly, you're probably to me, you're kind of just annoying, so I'd rather not even talk to you. Anyways. Like, and Kana is also able to express that he doesn't like people, right? Like, if Natsuki is kind of like, Shonen, you suck at your job. What are you doing? How have you been working here for so long and you're still so incompetent and pathetic? Shonen will be like, oh. And then Kana will come in and be like, damn, she's such a bitch, am I right? And then Shonen will be like, no, Kana, we can't think that. No. Wait, what was the point of this? Oh, yeah. The point being is Kanan was never really meant to have anything going on for himself. He was there as an outlet for Yasuda. So, his arc with Jessica is kind of him becoming human. Like, his whole story is surrounding Jessica because of, the fact that I'm trying to think. The fact that, like, the fact that he, for a while, he was just a side character to Shonen, I guess. Like, his purpose was to give something else to Shonen. And then, Jessica sort of breaks that by giving him an interpersonal relationship that isn't Shonen, right? Like, Kanan never really interacts with anyone in the family or otherwise. Like, he keeps to himself, and the only people he really interacts with are the other servants, like Genji, Kumasawa, Nanjo, and all of the servants are always accomplices in each of the timelines. So it kind of makes sense in that sense, right? So Kanan never really had anything going on for him. Like, Shonen had her friendship with Jessica, and she had like she went to school, and she had a romance with George. But Conan had none of that. He didn't attend school. He didn't have any friendships. Like, he just had coworkers, and then he never had any like romantic relationship. All he had, like in terms of close relationship, all he had was Shannon. And then Jessica falling in love with him sort of breaks that down. And over the course of the story, he goes from just a furniture that had nothing really going on to being more human by episode 6. And then episode 6 was also what decided who would be the human, because Shannon and Conan cannot coexist in this world and live their lives, because that's like that would be impossible. If Jessica stays on the island and like Jessica dates Conan, there's no way for like Conan to visit her, because Shannon would be going off with George, and that's like who knows where, and like getting to the island takes is a whole ordeal. Is a whole ordeal, so that just doesn't work, right? So I feel like Jessica, I don't know if she fits Ada very well, but like, because I don't think Jessica needed Conan to grow as a person, but like he definitely changed her and helped her a lot. Like, she definitely did love him, right? But with Jessica and Conan, their whole story, like it works similar to how Ada helps Emil in like figuring out how to be like a normal person, and her trying to integrate Emil back into society and like have him like live what is essentially a normal human life, right? Like, she works really hard so Emil can have like friendships. Like she teaches him how to read, she teaches him how to socialize, and at a lot of events she pushes for Emil to talk to people and like and socialize better and get to know people better. Like in the Valentine's event, she learns Emil is going to visit the shop every day to like get a gift for Ada, and like she writes a letter to the shopkeeper being like, hey, thank you for socializing with him and like helping him talk to more people. I really appreciate you for that. Anyways, can you help me with XYZ? And like it was all just to like help Emil, right? Like she doesn't really care if like other people come in and like hang out with him or potential like quote-unquote romantic threats, because she's very like confident and secure with herself in that sense, right? Like she has a lot of troubles going on with her family, and that works with Jessica as well, with Jessica being like the hair of the family, of like of the whole Higurashi family, but I don't think it's nearly as complicated as what Ada has. But I feel like a lot of the things that Ada and Emil do are also things that Jessica and Conan do to some degree, right? Like, it's not one-to-one, of course. Like, I feel like Ada relies on Emil a lot, like, in her own sense. Like, emotionally, and also, like, I guess, like, scientifically and stuff like that. Like, Emil is very important for her, and Emil, like, supports her in ways that, like, Conan doesn't really do for Jessica. And that's because like they never really got into a relationship until like really late into the series. For a while it was just Jessica had a huge crush on Conan, but Conan was never really that close to Jessica. He kept his distance from everyone. So like the same emotional reliance that Ada has on Emil, the guidance that Emil gives to Ada, and like without Emil she would have still be stuck with her like the Mesmer family, and like her relationship with the family is very complicated, right? With her dad especially, and she like her being able to break free from her family and like all the pressures that they give her, and her like running away with him like that it like I don't know, I'm trying to like speak, but like her and Emil, they have a really big importance with each other, while comparatively I think Conan grows a lot from Jessica, but Jessica doesn't necessarily grow from Conan, if that makes sense. Like Conan needs Jessica for his story, but I don't think Jessica really needs Conan for her story. But also I don't really know what Jessica's story is. if I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember much of Jessica's story, and I don't really think she has a lot of development. She's actually a very stable character. She's very confident in herself, and she is very like headstrong, right? She doesn't really grow much through the story. The only thing that really grows is her relationship with Conan, but otherwise she kind of has her own thing going on, and she, like I said, she is not as reliant on Conan as Conan is on her. Okay, anyways, so that's option one, right? I feel like, which I'm just gonna straight up, I'm going to choose this, okay? Because Conan and Emil are my two important characters, so I immediately have a lot of biases for them. I feel like their story works really well together, and then aesthetically, Conan and Emil really mirror each other. Ada and Jessica a lot less. In fact, I have no idea what to do with the whistle that Ada has. I was thinking, well, Jessica has asthma. What if we use her inhaler to Bluetooth heal people? And then I thought, would that be ableist? Is that making fun of her disability? Is that making fun of people with asthma? I don't know if we should do that. I feel like that's too controversial. And then I kind of thought, I don't really know what will really fit. But still, that is an option. Like, I'm gonna be fully frank with you. I'm leaning very strongly towards Ada and Emil being for Jessica and Conan. Especially since, actually, like, if you look at, like, the novels and the manga and stuff like that, and, like, a lot of the artwork, Jessica and Conan are pretty much always together. And that's because they, like, Jessica's character, I feel like, is very static. And, like, she's, like the thing is, she's very, like, healthy as a character. She's very, like, the only thing that she has going on that might not be good is the fact that she's faking her asthma. Spoiler, I guess. At this point in the stream, it's like, everything is spoiler. But anyways, like, other than that, I feel like she's just a morally good character. She's confident. She has good mental health. She's just a teenage girl, to be honest. That's the only thing that I could really say. She's pretty confident in herself. She's strong as well. So I don't really know. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, kind of because of that, like, she doesn't have anywhere to go or grow. So a lot of her story is around Conan, right? Like, and Conan, similarly, a lot of his story is around Shannon. I mean, Jessica, shit. I mean, Shannon as well, but, like, Yasuda as well, because he is a part of them. But, like, Conan specifically, his story is very much around, Jessica, and Jessica to him. Like, a lot of the art, like, when Conan is on a cover, he's either with Shannon or Jessica. And, like, most of the art that is drawn with him is him with, Jessica, right? So, like, they're kind of always together. In fact, I think they're always, like, put together as the lovers. I think, like, there was, like, a tarot card kind of thing for Umineko. I don't think it was official. I think it was fan art, but, like, they're put together. In a lot of fan art, you rarely see Conan by himself. It's always Conan and Jessica, or, just Conan. And, like, that's about it. So, like, I feel like, but, like, it's mostly just Conan and Jessica. Like, you would see so much Conan and Jessica together. You rarely see them apart from each other. And I think that kind of goes to show that it fits really well with Ada and Emil, because you almost never see Ada and Emil separate from each other. Like, in events, they're together. In essences, they're together. In, like, shops, like, they're together. Like, they're together. In fan art, they're usually together. Sometimes they're separate, but, like, usually they're together. So I feel like Jessica and Conan just fits really, really well for Ada and Emil. There we go. But of course, I feel like we should also consider if they're not together, right? Like, what if they were solo? Shit, I can't think of anything. Okay, so first thing is, I feel like Jessica works really well as a harasser. Jessica, like, yeah, she's a confident person, and she's, like, a really mentally healthy person. Unfortunately, that second part is really hard to place within the IDV, like, cast, because no one's mentally healthy. We're all fucked up for a reason. There's a reason why Orpheus wanted us specifically. you know, like, it's harder to manipulate and drug people who are mentally healthy. It's hard to manipulate them into going into the murder house if they're mentally healthy. You have to have some kind of leverage to manipulate them into this at the very least. So Jessica kind of just doesn't really work in that sense for anyone, but she is a confident person, and she's also a fighter. Like, her main thing is that she beats people up with her fists, okay? Oh, she also has her idol thing, but I don't really think that's important. No, that was like just a quick moment in like episode 2. So maybe Archer. I feel like Archer kind of works, but I would rather her have something with her fists, right? And there's just no characters who goes up and beats people up like physically, right? There's like nothing really works in that sense, and I'm trying to think. I don't even think there's any characters that really fit her personality-wise. I'm just trying to think of her harasser. Like, there's Archer, Auntie, and, what's the last one? Patty. I don't know. Like, maybe Auntie works? If you just remove the stick, you can make the animation her kicking and punching people, right? But, would that work if, she's an A tier? Like, I don't think they're gonna remove the stick, because that would be, like, an animation change. But I don't know. I feel like Auntie works in that sense. But she's also not really confident. Like, she doesn't have the strong, she doesn't have the same, headstrong personality. And I feel like Archer works a lot better for that. But, Jessica never uses a bow. No one uses a bow in the fucking series. So it doesn't work in that sense. As much as it's kind of goofy to imagine Jessica using, her inhaler as a whistle, at the very least, the lore fits really well. But if she were to be a solo character, I would want her to be a harasser. And I think, Brunhilde works the best for that. So I would put her as Archer in that sense. But I'm just gonna say, right off the bat, this is just, experimental and, consideration. Ada and Emil are just it's gonna be Ada and Emil. But I'm just, giving alternate options. For Conan, because he has his little beret, I did consider giving him to Edgar. In fact, fun fact, for a temporary amount of time, when I was, really struggling with Emil, and I felt like I kept losing with him, and I was just, tanking my win rate for the season, in rank, I did switch my main for a bit, and I switched to Edgar. It was between him and, Acro, actually. So to give a little explanation on that, I have, Emil as my main kiter, and also my main in general, and then I have Alice as my main rescuer, and then if I feel like we need a decoder, or well, this is not really we need a decoder, but I want to play a decoder, then I have Frederick, right? But I think we could just disregard him. But then there were characters that I feel like I play on mobile because they're just easy to play, which is Doctor and Lawyer. They're pretty safe options. And then, what's it called? As a replacement for Alice, because if I don't feel like I'm confident with using her on mobile, I have Andrew, and I feel like Andrew's a little bit easy to play. Well, actually, my win rate with him is so fucking shit. It's 10%. And to be fair, the only time I ever play him is if I'm okay, I don't think we're winning this match. I'm not gonna play my main into this. If it looks really bad, the draft picks and what's it called? The picks in general. I see a flywheel, no borrowed time mercenary. I'm just well, not mercenary, but I feel like if there's a mercenary, I wouldn't choose Andrew, because I'm not gonna throw so badly that I just throw him into all bad matches. I will at least try. But if there's no rescuer, and then I see a really scuffed pick for the band picks, and then I see a really, really questionable build on a really questionable character, I don't know, Tide, no borrowed time, Mind's Eye or something. Then I just pull out Andrew. So I also pull out Andrew if we need a rescuer and Alice is banned, and I feel like that's just bad in general, because he's my only option, and that's usually that's not a really good thing to happen if like I'm forced out of my like comfort picks. But anyways, yeah. And then for Kaider to replace Emil, it was between Acrobat and Painter. And I ended up choosing Painter because I felt like it would be a little bit easier on mobile. Because I think I was struggling with Acrobat at some point. I wasn't confident in bringing Acrobat into rank, just randomly. But I chose Painter because I thought he would be easy. And he was pretty easy. He's very, like, mechanically easy. As long as you know how to play the game basically, and just remember to turn around and look at the hunter, which you should be doing anyways, it should be fine. It shouldn't be too hard to play Painter, and I did actually really well with him. So I started having him as like a pick for rank. And the reason why I considered him even before that, like I got all of his deductions done and like did him before like I started ranking with him, was because he looked like Conan. And I think personality-wise, they both fit. Like they're both closed off, and they are both really depressed. So I feel like it fits personality-wise and aesthetic-wise. Like I can't imagine Conan painting because I think canonically Conan isn't really good at art. But I feel like it fits, like at least aesthetically. So that's why I have him as a pick. And then there's kind of just no one else I really know who to give Conan to. If I'm going to be honest, it's either Painter or Emil. I feel like aesthetically and personality-wise, they fit the best. And then like I don't know, I cannot imagine Conan being cowboy or anything like that. Like that would be weird. Or like Acrobat. Like that doesn't fit like at all. Ability-wise, personality-wise, opposites. Like I cannot imagine Conan rolling around on the floor going blah, 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 blah. That would, if I see that, I swear to God, I would protest. You know what? I'll cancel myself for that. I would not want Conan as Acrobat. I'm trying to think of other male characters. Lord. Like, I'm gonna be honest, there's just not really a lot of characters that fit. It's either Emil or Painter, I feel like Edgar. But I would rather it be Emil, so I'm going to go with Emil. And there we have it. That's everyone. Oh wait, we haven't decided the roles for everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the Promised Neverland collab. Depending on what Isabella gets, is what I'm gonna do as well. They might all be Essence, actually. They might all be Essence. Okay, that might make things a little bit more harder. Yeah, they're Essence. And then we get, like, Dawn and Gilda as the freebies. Okay, so that makes things a little bit more difficult. We kinda don't have anyone to really base things off of. So what makes more sense? Do we want Beatrice to be someone you roll for or someone you buy? I'm going to say I think Beatrice should be an SSS tier. And that means Battler will go into the shop. And I'm going to have George be the freebie, which also makes sense. I feel like George, it just fits the freebie vibe, if I'm going to be honest. Which leaves Jessica, Conan, and Shannon as the Essence, which I feel like that works really well. So that's gonna be that for the stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed my little rambles, and I hope nothing I said was really off or anything weird. I hope it has been fun, and I hope the discussion it was nice. I don't know. Yay! So yeah, that's probably gonna be it. I don't really think there's anything else to say right now. But yeah, that's gonna be that. So I'll send a little picture of, I guess, what I wrote down onto like maybe Twitter and Discord, and then that'll be it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Next time we're gonna be playing Zato. We're not gonna be doing many talking streams for a bit. I don't have any plans for any talking streams at least. So anyways, yeah, bye bye. Zato is next.